Hi kids, this is Mrs. Hawkins, and this is our flipped classroom for the day. So rather than me standing up and giving you a presentation in class, you're actually going to have the presentation for homework. And in this presentation, you're going to copy down notes at your own pace. Feel free to hit pause at any time if you need to slow down. If I said something too fast, please feel free to stop and go back. This way you don't feel like you're being rushed by other students, or maybe you are a quick note taker, and this way you don't have to feel like you're sitting around waiting on other students. Either way, this is at your own pace. So please get out your blue handout to start your homework. Inside your blue handout, you will notice that it is titled Figurative Language. I have added types of figurative language that we will be discussing in this presentation on this slide as well. Personification, simile, onomatopoeia, hyperbole, alliteration. By the end of this presentation, you should not only know the definitions of these words, but to be able to come up with your own examples. We will be watching a video in class that will let us see other people's examples and go into a little bit further detail. But for right now, we'll skip past this and look at the first term, which is hyperbole. What is a hyperbole? In your notes, you will see hyperbole is blank. Let me get my highlighter here, and I'm going to highlight what I want you to fill in your notes. You need to fill in that a hyperbole is an exaggerated statement. Now, you've probably heard Miss Treach talk about this in your reading class. If not, she will very soon, because it's something that you will see in your reading. And the reason why you see it in your reading is great authors often use hyperboles. And since our goal is to become an author, these might be something we might want to use in our writing. The definition being exaggerated statement. What does it look like? I am so hungry I could eat a moose. Here's what the moose has to say. Really? Could you eat me? I mean, I'm a moose. I'm really big. I'm as big as a moose. As big as a moose? Hey, that's a simile, and we'll get to those later. But I want you to notice now that a simile is not as exaggerated as a hyperbole. So make sure if you're going to do a hyperbole, it is a really big exaggeration. Such as this. His feet were as large as a barge. Well, if you don't know what a barge is, it's a really big boat. So even though this seems like a simple comparison that you might later see as a simile, it's really more of a hyperbole because it's comparing a foot size to the size of a barge. But a barge is approximately 700 feet long. Imagine getting a pair of shoes that big. We might be big, but we're not that big, says the feet. That exaggeration puts in the category of a hyperbole. How about this one? That was so funny I nearly died laughing. Ha ha ha. It was funny, but I'm not really going to die. Geez, that wouldn't be funny at all. Now at this point, I would like you to keep up in your handout, and you will see a page right after the little gentleman that dies laughing that gives you a challenge, where it's your turn to fill in 3 hyperboles. At this time, if you find your handout titled hyperbole, there are 3 blanks. Give it a try. Think of an exaggeration you might use for how much homework you have. Now, if I use this one, you can't use it, but I'll use it as an example. My homework, or I have a ton of homework. Your homework really doesn't weigh a ton. There's no way you could get it home if it weighed a ton, right? So think of an exaggeration like how much money it would take to make you do something. Or parents often use exaggeration when disciplining. If I told you once, I've told you 100 times. I think Mom's exaggerating when she says that she's probably told you 100 times. But I think she's also getting her point across. So now you try to get your point across. You stuck? Think about this. How hungry are you? I'm so hungry I could eat a... Try to really exaggerate. Not a whole pie. That's not really an exaggeration. Go much bigger. Try to really get the exaggeration in. Okay, if you're not done yet, hit pause. Personification. Personification is our next word we'll look at, and let's define it. Personification gives human qualities to objects, plants, or animals. Basically anything non-human. Now think about what humans can do that plants can't. They can talk, they can cry, they can dance. Look at this one. The microwave oven told me my popcorn was ready. Do you think that microwaves can talk? Did your microwave say, "Hey you, your popcorn is ready"? How did the microwave tell you that it was ready? Think of why this is personification. Since the microwave can't talk, that's something that only humans can do. We gave it a human quality. So, it's personification. If you need more time to write the definition, hit pause. Here are some examples of personification. The strawberries seemed to sing, "Eat me first." The rain kissed my cheeks as it fell. The daffodils nodded their yellow heads. The car engine coughed and sputtered. Here's a poem. Two sunflowers move in the yellow room. Ah, William, we're weary of weather, said the sunflowers shining with dew. Our traveling habits have tired us. Can you give us a room with a view? They arranged themselves at the window and counted the steps of the sun, and they both took root in the carpet where the topaz tortoises run. This is by William Blake. Think about why this is personification. Can flowers talk? I don't think flowers ever turn and say, "Ah, William." But to William they seemed almost as if they could speak, and if they could speak, they would say that they had grown weary. And having a room with a view, I'm not for sure they could say that, and I don't even think they have eyes to view anything with. But by putting him by the window, he chose to personify them, as if they had eyes. Now your turn. Think of an object or an animal. Write down several qualities that describe it. Find a human characteristic that you can connect to it. For example, think of your pencil. If you say, "My pencil grew legs and walked off," that's personification. You could even say that the pencil poked its head out of your bag. Well, it doesn't really have a head to poke out, but you get what it means. Try thinking of objects that could dance in the wind. I mean, flowers don't have legs to dance, but could they dance in the wind? Or leaves? On your handout, try to come up with some personification of your own. Still struggling? Think about trying to make a book talk. Could a book yawn? The book yawned as we opened it from its restful slumber. If you haven't thought of a personification yet, hit pause. Now let's look at alliteration. What is alliteration? If you look at your handout, alliteration is the repetition of the same beginning sound in several words. What does it look like? All the angry alligators ate Allison's apples. The A sound is repeated over and over again. We'll watch a video that gives a closer look at alliteration in class. Now you try it. Think about penguins. All the adjectives that could go along with penguins, such as peppy penguins, popular penguins, even the movie Mr. Popper's Penguins. Now take a topic of your choice. Maybe a hippo. A happy hippo. Be creative. Use a dictionary. Write about something you like or that you're interested in. What you think is fun. If you're not done, hit pause. Onomatopoeia. Miss Treach will also cover this word as well. Onomatopoeia words that sound like the noises they make. What does it look like? Buzz, smash, boom. We're bees, so we buzz. However, this cow, he moves. Check out this example. The vase made a loud smash as it shattered on the floor. Here I've given you several onomatopoeias. Can you think of the situation where the onomatopoeia would fit? A plate being dropped on the floor. We would probably call that sound smash. So if you draw a line from a plate being dropped on the floor to the onomatopoeia smash. A balloon being burst. Most of the time when a balloon bursts, we say it, you're right, it pops. A gun being shot. Think of the old-timey movies before those silent movies. They would pull the trigger and out would come a little sign with a little flag that would flap down and say, you're right, bang. A gun being shot would be bang. Now continue the assignment on your own. Great. If you need more time, hit pause. Read the poem, and you don't actually have to write it down. You can just underline it or circle it on your handout if you would like, but find some examples of an onomatopoeia. Remember, onomatopoeias are sound effects. The click of the clock and the creak of the stair. The squeak of the mouse and the whoosh of the air. Continue through the poem on your own. Excellent. If you need more time, hit pause. Now at this point, we're going to make an amazing comic strip, a creation, all your own, using these 4 boxes. Make an amazing onomatopoeia creation by making a comic strip that uses at least 4 examples of onomatopoeias. So let's say your comic strip is a battle. You might have a lot of bang, pow, pop, as they punch each other. Maybe you might have a fast car that goes whoosh. Think about the onomatopoeias in the poem you read before, or the activity where you connected onomatopoeias. Onomatopoeias can be a very powerful tool for a writer. When you have completed your comic strip, you have completed this flip session. I hope to see you back in class with a good understanding of these terms. If you need to go back and repeat any part of this,